Hi everyone, it's Lisa Brown with InkandInspirations.com. Welcome to the third in a series of 2019 Stampin' Up! Christmas cards ideas for our Christmas in July on Ink and Inspirations. And today we're going to make a very simple card style using a Christmas theme stamp and one that is not, in combination, as well as some non-traditional colors. So I have Dashing Deer, which is in the annual catalog that is carried over from last year's holiday catalog, and I'm using this Happiest Christmas Wishes sentiment. And then we have Very Versailles, a beautiful vintage style set, and I'm using this border image here, okay? So here is the card. You can see it's non-traditional Christmas colors, and the designer paper looks like a quilt pattern to me, so I thought that would be good for a wintry Christmas type card. And it is from the Garden Lane Designer Series paper pack. So you can see I just have a simple stamped sentiment here. So let me show you how we put this together. I have a piece of soft seafoam cardstock cut at 5.5 by 8.5. And I'm going to match the two corners and give it a good crease with a bone folder. All right. Next, I have a piece of that Garden Lane Designer Series paper. Now, in this pack, it's very unique as far as Stampin' Up! Papers go. They're just many shades of the green. It's Pear Pizzazz, Mint Macaron, Seafoam Green, the Mossy Meadow, just all garden green. And so when I was looking through my papers, I thought, well, let me try this, non-traditional colors, and I thought it made for a very pretty card. So I'm just going to get some Snell adhesive and apply some to the back and center that on the card front. This particular card, there is an embellishment of a ribbon, a tied ribbon, but tried to keep it as flat as possible for ease of mailing, okay? So we can set that aside, and we're going to work on the other pieces. So I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and it's cut at 3.5 by, I think it's 3/4 of an inch. No, it's an inch wide, okay? And then I have the soft sea foam that is cut 4 by 1.25 inches. Excuse me. So for this sentiment, I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I'm going to take the border piece and make sure my stamp is clean from the last time I used it. And I'm going to stamp the first edge here before I stamp the sentiment in the middle, because we're going to do some trimming of this Whisper White piece. And so this is Mossy Meadow. I don't want to use that. I want to use Mint Macaron and stamp close to the edge here. Okay, now I'm going to take the sentiment, ink that up. Again, it's mounted on my block where I know it's straight, fairly straight, centering it top to bottom and fairly close to the border, and stamp. Okay, now I'm going to take my border piece again, ink it up, come in here close to the edge of the S. I have a little space here between the C and the border, so I'm trying to mimic that on this side. And there we go. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and close these ink pads, and then I'm going to get my paper snips and trim the excess off. This way, you're not having to try to center everything on your 1-inch strip. Just go with it and then snip it off, and it's ready to go. All right, so now I have the soft seafoam piece, and I'm going to attach it about 1/8 of an inch from the edge here, because I want to leave that other side where I can tie the ribbon. Around it. And so I have this is the Mint Macaron textile ribbon. It's beautiful. And so I'm leaving it on the spool, and I'm going to tie a simple knot and try to make it as flat as possible. So I'm going to give myself a little more room and tie it over the stamp piece, and then I can slide it over after it's tied. But you definitely want to tie it on, wrapped around that 1 1/4 inch seafoam so that you can get the right length and tightness for your ribbon. Okay, so let's pull that. There we go. A nice flat knot. And then I'm going to take my ribbon scissors, and I call them ribbon scissors because they're dedicated to cutting fabric or ribbon. Like this, and I tie the piece of ribbon around it to remind me. Sometimes I forget and grab the wrong ones. All right, so here, let's line these up. And I'm using the lines on the designer paper to try to keep that as straight as possible. And that's going to go just like that. And there we go. Okay, there's our card. This one's a little different. I've used Mint Macaron all the way for every stamped image. This one I decided to use Mossy Meadow in the center. Okay, so I hope you like that idea. You know, you can use any papers and a sentiment that will fit on a strip. I make a style of this card every year when I need a lot of cards in a hurry. If I am short on my holiday cards toward the end of the season when I'm mailing, this is the style card I would make. It's beautiful. You can write your sentiment on the inside, and it's just beautiful. So try it. Let me show you the inside of this one. I just simply put a piece of Whisper White cardstock with the border piece at the top and the bottom, and I'll write my message here. Okay, thanks so much for joining me. Tune in again for the next in the series of 2019 Stampin' Up! Christmas card ideas. Visit my website at inkandinspirations.com for links to order, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.